In this video, I wanted to show how this room evolved from the first color inspiration and how I fitted all the different components together to create the end result. The house was a rehabbed house that I had, and after stripping it down, I painted the entire interior and exterior in white. I like to start with a blank canvas. No distractions. The color scheme was inspired by that map. The teaming of sand and water colors seemed like a really good place to begin. And I did this by searching out the blue-greens, the turquoise, the different shades and tones of blues, and seeing how far I could push the sand color to act as an accent. Starting with neutral wallpaper and natural wood floors, that gave me a real good foundation to begin with. The floors had a really pretty natural color, so all I did was apply a coat of sealer to them. I didn't use any stain at all. And the wallpaper is very neutral. The windows definitely needed a window treatment, and all I did was find 3 different fabrics that worked well together. I knew I wanted a valance of some sort and side panels from floor to ceiling. So after measuring the height of the windows to the top edge, I cut 2 panels of wood about 1.33 inches wide and covered them with fabric. These were going to be my down panels. After adding a little bit of glue and clamping them to cover completely, I set them aside to dry. I was able to do the entire window treatment in about 2 hours. The little header is a valance, and this was covered with the striped fabric because that left me with several options as far as colors went. And I chose a very neutral, tweedy sort of fabric to do a blind, a small mini blind that was secured and glued to the back of the window. I knew most of the windows would be covered up, so it didn't really matter if I could see in or out. And here's the finished product. I mounted them just above the height of the window because I wanted to extend the height of the room. So visually, it added quite a nice feature to the room. Here you see them in place. I just used a little bit of tacky glue to hold them because they were very lightweight. I also trimmed out the room in white rope where the crown molding would be. And for a break, I decided to make all the maps. I had some antique map paper, and I covered a whole bunch of little wooden blocks to create books that look like ledgers and rolled them into little maps that you'll see fitted into different pieces of furniture, into the little barrels. I had a navy rug that I really liked, and I wanted to introduce the navy color. It also was teamed up with that sandy golden color. So it makes a nice accent for the floor and breaks up the large expanse of the wooden floor. I started adding some of the furniture in place, gives it a really nice punctuation mark. The old desk and the chairs that have the woven seats fit nicely into these little areas. The little pony wall that divides the 2 rooms gave me a nice display feature. And there's my color scheme, the blues and the sandy colors, and I decided to use that fabric for the rug. I just had to determine the size. Now, once I put the bed in place, I started wondering if gold would be a nice option. And gold would have worked, but it meant I was locked into using it in many other places, and I really didn't want to. So I ended up going for the blue. I had an old upholstered chair that was sitting on the left side of the room, and I decided to paint it to look like old leather. So I painted it in an acrylic to match the blue carpet from the bedroom side. There you can see how it carries the blue to the left side of the floor. I also used that same shade of blue and deepened it to paint the bed and the dresser. Now the rooms were in desperate need of lights, and I wanted it to be a real feature that the lights should look like what would be found in a sea captain's home. And I found this string of fairy lights with these little plastic lanterns. I took the lanterns off, they were plastic, sawed the top off of them, and stuffed a whole string of fairy lights down into them. You can see the little battery pack. Worked like a charm, and they are the perfect size for anywhere in this house, both inside and outside. Here you can see that the furniture has been painted in that deep blue. It's not quite a navy blue, but it works beautifully with the carpet shade and also the colors of the map. Now I decided to dress the bed in the blue tones and just use the gold for an accent. You can see here I frayed the rug to give it a little bit of an extra interest and to tie in the blue furniture with the lanterns, this stained wooden rocking chair that I repaired, and I used a nautical motif for the back and a different one on the back side. The blue furniture really makes a difference in the room. I think it teams up nicely with the natural wood. Now these little shutters, I made them, were really simple. They look way more complicated than they really are. All it is you measure the width of the inside of the window, which I did, glued them in place, and then used a little sliver of wood down the front. The lanterns, you'll notice, have a greenish hue on the glass portion, and I did this by just mixing a little bit of pigment in with my satin varnish and varnished the plastic of the lantern. The whole room pulls together really nicely just using those colors, but notice I use them in different shades. Now here we have the captain's bed, and some people think that dressing a bed is a very complicated process, but it really isn't. All you need is a few pieces of matching or coordinating fabrics, and off you go. So the first thing, just like a normal size bed, is you're going to put on a sheet. So my mattress is underneath this, and I dressed it by gluing the fabric over the mattress, and I glued it down onto the first layer of the support for the mattress, so that the whole mattress was wrapped in my fabric of choice. Then I put on a coverlet, and I cut my cover to size so that it would hang down to floor level on both sides. And I did a glued seam. There's no sewing involved. I just glued up and ironed a very crisp little seam of about 1/3 of an inch. I did that on the top and the sides and the bottom. That coverlet went on over the mattress cover, and I tucked it in at the base underneath the mattress and folded it down on both sides so it sat nice and tight on both sides. I tacked it onto the bed itself because I don't plan on changing this, and if I do, it's just a matter of pulling up 2 or 3 little tacks. I did use a tiny little bit of hot glue on this side here to hold it in place, and also on this side. You don't want to use a lot of hot glue because it will be too bulky. I just used a tiny little drop in 2 or 3 places just to hold it down. Then you fold over the top coverlet and make a fold. So I folded it once and then folded it back so that I had my fold about 1/3 down the mattress, which allowed me to create kind of a pocket, and I can slip my secondary piece of fabric into that pocket. I'll come back to that in a minute. So you can see here the sheet covering the mattress, and then I made one single pillow. I hand stitched the bottom of it and sat that nice and upright at the back. I wanted it to sit upright. I didn't want it to lay down flat like this. And then I made a little throw pillow, and I put little tufts on the four corners using embroidery floss. Into this pocket that I had created here, I folded one piece of fabric and I fringed the edges. See how I pulled all the threads out to give me a nice fringe all the way around on the four sides. And I folded that not quite in half because I wanted to have 2 rows exposed at the bottom. And I tucked the fold up underneath this pocket. I'm trying to do this with one hand because I'm holding my camera with the other. So that sits nicely, and the fringe shows from the front. This bed in its position in the bedroom is facing the viewer, so I wanted it to look really pretty on the top. I wasn't too concerned about the sides, I just wanted them covered. And there you have it. There's how to dress a bed in a very simple manner. There's nothing fancy about this. It's not interchangeable. It's not as if I'm going to be redressing it in a week's time or playing with it. This will be good to go for several years. And the color of the bed in navy blue has been slightly dry brushed. I used a Prussian blue color, which is a nice rich deep blue. I dry brushed the same color mixed with just the tiniest amount of white, just to lighten it to show off some of the detailing. And then I sanded a couple of the edges, give it a little bit of age. And that's it. There's my dressed bed. Here's the little bed back in place. I'm so glad I decided to stick with the blues. Now the window itself is treated with a little valance, but I really like the idea of having the little wooden louvers. I'll tell you in a bit how I made these, but notice that I took 3 little snippets of the original map and framed them so that I could carry the colors from the map onto that wall on the right-hand side. And that's how I like to carry color from one area of the room to another. You'll notice on the little rocking chair, there's a little shawl over the arm of the chair. That carries the color. The blue chair that I transferred, that I repainted in the blue, also carries the color. And it also brings out the color of the window treatment that's right behind it. Everything that I place in a room, I always consider what's around it. What contrast am I creating? Am I introducing a color, or am I introducing a punctuation mark? Here's the painted chair sitting on top of the blue carpet that I was trying to match. And you can see the colors work beautifully together. I couldn't get the right exact color until I added a little bit of green into my mix, which really turned it into more of a deep teal or a turquoise color. The little butterscotch colored book sitting on the chair also helps to bring out the blue in the chair. Here's a little tip. Anything that I place in a room or a spot, I always consider what's in front or behind it. Now here are the little valances before they were covered with fabric. 3 pieces of wood, 3 simple cuts. I glued my fabric to the valance using a glue stick because I could get really good coverage and the fabric adheres really well to the plain wood with a glue stick glue. After clamping it until it was fully set and in place, I then glued these over the top of my window frame. Height doesn't matter. You can decide how wide you want them or how high you want them. Here is the finished room with all the trimmings in place. There are several little bits and pieces that I added in between just to finish it off. This little rocking chair faces into the room. That helps the viewer feel as if they're a little bit of voyeurism. You're looking beyond what is happening in front of you into the tiny little room. It's just an illusion. This little chair was damaged when I got it, so I put a new backing on it, but I chose to use a little nautical motif in the front and back. That little telescope was a plastic white telescope that I found on Temu, and I spray painted it black. The black is a nice contrast. It also helps to pull out the black in the 2 lanterns on the bedside tables. The addition of the map on the sloped ceiling created a headboard, a larger headboard, almost feels a bit like a canopy over the bed. And the position of the bed in this room also is enhanced by the bedding. The little pony wall in the middle of the room was trimmed off in white rope, and I added all the little bits and pieces as a display shelf. This little lamp sitting next to the blue chair is brass, and I added bits and pieces of brass throughout the whole house. I love the sparkle of it. The finished room, and I'm really pleased with it. I hung a lantern light in the middle of the room in brass, and there you have it, the finished top floor.